This is the way of the strong. First, we're gonna make a hot dog bun from scratch. In a cup of warm milk, we're gonna add in 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of dried instant yeast. We're gonna break the yolk, give it a good stir, and set it aside for 10 minutes. Next, in 2.5 cups of flour, we're gonna add in half a teaspoon of salt. We're gonna turn on our stand mixer to mix our dry ingredients and then slowly add in our yeast and milk mixture. Alright guys, so while our dough kneads, I just want to say this. That ribbon for the plating was purple in color in real life, but behind the camera it's blue. If any of you guys know what's causing that, please post in the comments below. This issue has happened to me multiple times and I'd like to learn how to fix it. Anyways, while our dough is kneading, I added in 2 tablespoons of butter. Once our dough is nice and smooth, we're going to drop a tablespoon of oil in this bowl and rub it with paper towel. The purpose of this is to prevent the dough from sticking to the bowl while it's proofing. Now we're going to drop the dough in the bowl. This dough is pretty sticky, so use a spatula instead of your hands. If you feel that the dough is too sticky and you can't handle it, just add a little bit of flour to it. Once the dough's in the bowl, we're going to cover it with saran wrap and let it proof for 1 hour. After 1 hour, our dough should have doubled in size. We're going to take the saran wrap off and then place the dough on a floured surface. Next, we're going to roll this dough into a log. Then, we're going to cut this dough into 4 portions. If you want your dough to all be even in size, weigh it out. As for me, I was just freestyling it. Now, we're going to take our dough portion and roll it sideways. Then, we're going to pinch it close. We're going to transfer this dough on a sheet pan with parchment paper on the bottom and then cover it with a towel and let it proof for 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, our dough should have doubled in size again. We're now going to brush this with egg wash and then cut 3 slits on each dough because that's what it looks like they did on the picture. So we're copying it. Once all the slits have been cut through, we're going to place it in the oven for 15 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is our buns after 15 minutes in the oven. We're now going to finish it off with a rubbing of butter. Man, only if you guys can smell this. The smell of fresh bread and butter. These are wheat egg noodles. We're going to throw it in a pot of boiling water. We're going to cook this for 30 seconds, take it out, and then place it into ice water to stop the cooking process. If you guys didn't know, yakisoba doesn't actually contain any soba. It's traditionally made with wheat noodles. If you guys want to know why they call it yakisoba and it contains no soba, Google it, because I don't know what the answer is. I actually know what the answer is, it's just too long to explain. Anyways, now we're going to make the yakisoba sauce. In a bowl, we're going to throw in some ketchup, soy sauce, mirin, Worcestershire sauce, and oyster sauce. But you have to make sure you get the right Worcestershire sauce, the Japanese version Bulldog, because it's a little bit sweeter. If you can't find that version, just add more sugar or mirin to this mix. Now that everything's combined, we're going to give it a good stir and then set it aside. Now we're going to make a very simple yakisoba just like they did in the game. It'll only contain pork, cabbage, noodles, and sauce. Of course, if I was making this on my own, I'd add in some carrots, some mushrooms, maybe some bean sprouts, finish it off with a little bit of green onions, but you know what? We're doing what the game does, okay? So far we started off by stir frying the pork and then we added in the cabbage. Now we're going to season it generously, give it a little bit of a toss, and then throw in the noodle. Once you throw in the noodle, you gotta cook it in the wok on high heat for a bit, for about a minute or two. It's gotta get that wok hay, you know, like what Uncle Roger says. Once your noodles have accumulated that wok hay flavor, then you can throw in your sauce. We're gonna saute this for another minute, just making sure that the sauce covers everything, and then we're gonna set it aside and then get ready to plate. Alright, plating that was a lot harder than I thought. I thought it would be so simple, but it wasn't. Not at all. Anyways, this is how I kept the bun together. With toothpicks. 6 of them. Man, my voice is getting nasally. I think I'm getting sick. Once all the toothpicks are off, I'm gonna give it a big bite. This wasn't very easy to eat either, it was very messy. After I took that first bite, honestly it was so spicy because I got all hot sauce. But after the second bite, I'll be honest, not a big fan of eating noodle sandwiches. I mean, it's just all carbs, it's not satisfying. I guess this is how he stays strong, he eats all carbs to energize himself. But don't get me wrong, the yakisoba itself tastes good on its own, but eating it in a sandwich, it's not for me. Anyways, that's it for this episode. If you guys like what you see, hit the like button. And if you guys have any suggestions on what I should cook next, please post in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe.